Oh, it's pretty simple, really. I mean, sometimes the game's not. It's there's a fair bit of nuance involved, but today was simple. Just got obliterated around the ball, in contested possession, and then allowed Sydney to control it. So only there were a few patches of the game where we were able to play the game the way we want it to be played, and the rest, Sydney, to their credit, set it up well, won the ball in the contest, and then dictated terms. So it could have been a lot worse, to be honest.
How do you explain that? In terms of, is there any indications before the game that the side was lacking in that regard?
No, we actually came in very well prepared for what Sydney were going to throw at us. We know they've got their personnel back. They've got their inside midfield going, and last week they got going, and you know you lose count of how many All-Australians they've got. So I mean, we knew what was coming. Sydney's form line doesn't suggest, or we didn't fall for the fact that we thought they were going to be off. We knew they were going to be on. Like us, they're fighting for their season, and they're a proud group of hard, tough inside midfielders, and they got the better of our guys today. I mean, we pride ourselves on our ability to win the ball inside, and our guys, particularly in the first half, just got really badly beaten in there. They steadied in the second half, but largely the contested damage was done, and then we allowed Sydney to control it, which is not consistent with our season because we don't and we haven't played that way.
Coaching for a long time now, Scotty, you see the discrepancy between last week and this week, and you sort of shake your head a bit, or it must be hard. No,
it's not. It's not. I mean, the results are very different, and but it's not that big a difference. I mean, we know the fine line in the game. I mean, the difference between winning a hard one-on-one contest and going forward versus losing it and chasing. It's not that big a difference. And when you've got sides that are so capable, it's a really, really fine line. And we're going to continue to see results like that across the course of the competition this season because it is a fine line. And we were on the wrong side of that fine line today, and it turned into a pretty ugly result for us, and a result that was unacceptable and so inconsistent and so different to what we've produced so far this year, even in losses.
Clearly missed Jared Waite today and probably tried Lockie Hansen up there at times. How did you see that sort of forward line function?
Well, I mean, certainly Sydney put numbers behind the ball in the second for pretty much, for large periods of the game, and we certainly didn't want to bomb the ball in there, but we did on too many occasions. So, I mean, a bit of it was the forward line, but a fair bit of it was the way it was going in. So, Lockie looked okay early, looked pretty dangerous, but, I mean, our forwards didn't get a look at it today.
You mentioned the numbers. Sam Reid sort of spent a fair bit of time behind the footy. Did you think about manning him up specifically?
Well, yeah, we did think about that, yeah. But Sydney are a counter-attacking team. We did push our numbers forward, so Reid just kept dropping further back. So, no, we pushed them forward. We didn't sit back, and some of it was just some mistakes on our behalf. Sometimes we didn't do what we wanted to do, but no, at times we had 7 forwards. So if you go back and have a look at that, then yeah, we did.
When you're that badly beaten inside mid, do you think Andrew Swallow might be in the mix to return next week?
Yeah, he played well in the VFL. Yeah, so he's we were under no illusions that he'd bounce back and he'd improve on some of the areas that we'd asked him to focus on. So yeah, he'll be in the mix.
How'd you rate Robbie Tarrant's job on, buddy?
Super. Yeah. When I said it could have been a lot worse, Robbie Tarrant kept it semi-respectable. Yeah, it was a really dominant performance, I thought.
How's Joel Simpkins' shoulder going up there?
Well, we don't know for sure, but look, it certainly looks like an AC joint, but the doctors were keen to explore injecting it to see if they could get him back on, but we weren't comfortable doing that with a young player. So we didn't give the doctors too many opportunities to try and get him back out in the field. We just called it pretty early because we're certainly not going to put even though he's a really valuable player, we're not going to put him at risk at such a young age.
Is Jed Anderson fully fit at the moment?
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brad.